What? Sure, we'll try this one. Am I the asshole for refusing to allow cousin-in-law and his family to move in when they're about to be homeless? My husband's cousin Chris and his wife Rachel have 3 kids, 13, 5, and 3. We've hung out twice since our daughter, 7.5, was born. We're not close. Rachel's always been rude to me. Before my husband met me, Rachel had a thing for him and tried to date him. He never reciprocated, and when we became official, Rachel started dating Chris. Chris called asking if they can move in with us as they're homeless. Chris and Rachel missed rent payments and got evicted and have been couch surfing with their 3 kids for the past month or so. That's really fucking sad. Okay. My husband said he would need to talk to me first. My immediate response was no. Husband agreed, although he felt bad. Chris's family had been giving them money to make their rent payments, and instead of paying rent, they used their money for other things. Chris works odd construction jobs and doesn't make much. Rachel claims she can't work because of ADHD. There's so many red flags here. So every single sentence introduces a new red flag. Chris called back. Husband apologized and said we don't have the space. Chris tried to say we have 5 bedrooms. My husband clarifies that we don't. We have 4, one of which is my office. Chris says he's disappointed and he would have helped us. My husband says I work from home and need the house to be quiet. Chris says he doesn't understand where we get the impression that their kids can't be quiet, and he's offended. Rachel says we have the money and a big house to help, but that we would rather see 3 kids end up on the street because I'm greedy. I snap and tell her her kids are not my responsibility and I'm not comfortable sharing my home with strangers. It's not our problem that they mismanage their finances and that maybe she shouldn't have gotten her nails done every week and paid their rent instead. She responded that I don't understand how hard they have it because I'm, quote, privileged and providing for 3 kids isn't cheap. So I said maybe she should get a job and stop using ADHD as an excuse, and they should have thought of that before having kids, and hung up. That was harsh as fuck. Oh my God. Husband's phone starts blowing up with calls from family members. He picks up Chris's dad's, Paul, call. Paul wants to know why we're unwilling to help. I ask him why he and his wife haven't opened their home, as this is his son and grandkids after all. If you're not following him. He says Chris/Rachel and the kids stayed for a week, but their house is too small and it didn't work out. I told him that we aren't close to Chris and Rachel and have no obligation to them. I suggested he and his wife reopen their home to their son and grandkids. He says they did open their home and now it's our turn. I laughed and hung up. So now my husband's family thinks that we're cruel and heartless. We also haven't disclosed that I'm pregnant, which is also a big reason. That I was on the fence about it until literally right now, especially because of the response. Like when someone's down and out and you're like, it's all your fault that you are in this situation, fuck you, you know, because like I've been there, I've been on the down and out, but I was working, I was going to school, and things fucking sucked, and I had people do this shit to me. However, we also haven't disclosed that I'm pregnant, which is also a big reason. They're anti-vax, and I don't want to be exposed. I'll be going on maternity leave for a year as of January, so we're trying to save up. Never mind. Yeah, I'm on your side now. Yeah, okay. That's all I needed to know about them as people. Yeah, there was so much to this whole. What a fucking roller coaster. That's an easy not the asshole now. Yeah, that's we came around. Yeah, I hope someone can help those kids for sure. New Dickie, going live. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my sister to Renfaire because of what she wants to wear? I, 25F, am the oldest of 4 kids. Brother, Sam, 20M, and sisters, Maddie, 17F, and Kiara, 12F. I've been going to Renfaire since I was 16, usually with friends, but once Sam and Maddie were 13, I started taking them with me. Kiara just turned 12 a few months ago and said she wanted to go to the Renfaire this year. I was hesitant, but asked our mom, and once she gave the okay, I actually got excited because, very sad about this, Sam is in the Marines and can't go this year. He is deployed. That is, I was excited until I found out what she wanted to wear. Maddie and I have been planning on making our outfits since last Renfaire. We were both avid seamstresses and offered to help Kiara design her outfit. Kiara is really into furries lately and has started making suits and masks, but I made it clear that Renfaire isn't the place for that, and I was uncomfortable taking her in that. What do you mean Renfaire isn't the place for that? She agreed. We came up with a few outfit designs and a set day to go shopping for all the stuff. She then came to me a week ago, gloating, saying that our mom said yes to her wearing a furry suit to Renfaire. I told her she absolutely could, but again, I wouldn't be the one taking her if she chose to wear that. She got upset and said that I was being unfair because I was still taking Maddie. I told her again that Renfaire isn't the place, and who I take with me is up to me. She's now very upset with me and is trying to get our mom to make me take her wearing her furry suit. So am I the asshole? What do you mean? Edit to add. There are several reasons as to why I stated quote unquote not the place. Main being that it's going to be in the 80s during Renfaire and she wants to wear a full neon pink furry suit, head and all. Second, this isn't a big Renfaire where you see all kinds of costumes. We live in a small town, and aside from some tourists, it's mainly just people in our town. There's been plenty of creature costumes, but nothing like what she wants to wear. We offered to help her do a fantasy creature type costume, but she's doubling down. My mother isn't trying to make me take her, just said that she was allowed. Also, I'm not embarrassed with her wearing this. I told her she can absolutely wear it next year when we go to Comic-Con. Then explain to her that it's gonna be 80 degrees and you will literally get heat exhaustion if you try to wear this outfit. Don't just try to shut her down without explaining it. Children are people too. They deserve your respect and an explanation. Explain it to her as you would an adult. You could have explained that in the beginning. Okay, so it's not actually about the heat. OP comments, Maddie and I offered to help make her a more D&D creature outfit, werewolf, dragonborn, etc. But that isn't what she wants to wear. She wants to wear a neon pink, cartoonish furry suit. If we were going to Comic-Con, I absolutely wouldn't care. We live in a fairly small area and I've been going to Renfaire since I was 16. Have literally never seen someone wearing a furry suit. It's literally the fact that it's cartoonish. She doesn't like the fact that it's cartoony and not her perfect little Renaissance production. It feels controlling for absolutely no reason. I'm getting the OP backpedaled in the edits because they were getting roasted, probably. Well, the top comment says not the asshole. Top comment is all aesthetics aside, a fursuit outside in July in what will probably be the hottest July in recorded history. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, is your mother nuts? There's a good way to get your kid a horrible trip to the hospital. The next highest comment is not the asshole. While your sister is entitled to her interests and hobbies, Renaissance fairs typically have a specific theme, an aesthetic that doesn't align with furry costumes. These motherfuckers are going to some of the most boring, puritanical bullshit Ren fairs I've ever heard of. Not the aesthetic, I know. Who gives a shit? Who fucking gives a shit about aesthetics? Fuck it. This one's gotta be interesting. Am I the asshole for shrugging when my dad's wife told me they need all of dad's money right now? It is, yeah. This does not bode well at all. I, 17 male, might be the asshole, and I might be a big one, but I wanted to get people's insight. So my dad left my mom when I was 14 to be with his wife / the woman he was cheating on my mom with. My dad didn't want me to think badly of him, but I did. He knew I did, and he knew he couldn't change my mind easily. We always knew my parents would end up with shared custody until I was 17 at least. From experience, the judges in family court will only stop enforcing shared custody when the kid turns 17 and speaks out. Any younger and they insist on 50-50. I also knew mom would struggle on her own because while she did work, she never made as much as my dad. She also wouldn't get child support because of the 50-50 and it was ordered even with the difference in income. So when dad pleaded with me to give him a chance to show he could still be a good dad, he said he would do anything for me. I told him to keep supporting mom and make sure she wasn't going to end up struggling while he got off easy. I told him she deserved that at least after what he did and that I deserved to see my mom doing well. On the one hand, I'm so proud of this kid. On the other hand, this kid had to grow up so fast. My dad agreed and he paid it as child support instead of spousal support or whatever it's called. It really helped mom and she actually went back to school so she could get a better job. Dad is still paying that money. He knows I appreciate him doing it. He also knows it's one of the only reasons I didn't just decide to say fuck him and never want a relationship again. My mom is also less stressed. She has mixed feelings about my dad giving her money when legally he doesn't need to, but she also knows this is the only way for me to not feel the need to help support her. Where my dad's wife comes in is this. She never liked that my dad paid this child support. She never liked that I insisted on it for my dad and I to have a relationship. But now my dad's house is struggling a bit and some changes needed to be made. His wife, son, and daughter were in dance, football, softball, karate, music lessons, and an art class as paid extracurricular. My dad and his wife also have a baby together. The wife's kids had to cut 2 activities because they can't afford it anymore. It pisses his wife off because if dad wasn't paying the money, they could still afford those things. She told me I should stop obligating my dad to support mom because they need it more. My mom isn't their problem. I told her she and her kids are not my problem. She told me they're my family while mom is not hers or her kids' family or my dad's anymore. I told her she and her kids are dad's family, but not mine. She told me they need all of dad's money right now before more things need to be cut back on. I shrugged in response. She told me I was so callously flippant and it wasn't a good look to care so little about my siblings' lives. Only one of her kids, the baby, is technically my half-sibling. Am I the asshole? Now, fuck your stepmom. This is just fucking bad stepmom behavior all the way down, and it's so easy to see. Uwus. Give me a keyword or a phrase. Uwus has chosen the word daddy. Am I the asshole for favoring my scapegoat brother over his golden child twin sister? I, 20 male, have 2 younger siblings, Joe and Jill. They're twins, both 18 and graduating high school this year. Jill is my parents' favorite because they've always wanted a daughter, while Joe is their scapegoat because I guess he's the bonus baby they never actually asked for. I'm mostly better off than Joe, as I'm the oldest grandson from both sides of my family, almost all of whom are just as blatant as my parents about their favoritism. I felt really bad for Joe, so I did what I could to make him feel less alone. Like when Jill got to go shopping with mommy and daddy. There it is. Unfortunately, this is not a fun daddy post. While Jill got to go shopping with mommy and daddy, I took Joe skating with my friends. When our parents were too busy watching Jill's kitty pageant, I dragged my best bud to sit through Joe's elementary school musical. Small things like that. It all started as pity moves, but soon my friends pretty much like Joe better than me, while Jill's princess syndrome got in her head. So now I spend more time with Joe because I simply like him better than Jill. Never said it out loud, but I don't make it a secret either that I prefer not to spend my time with entitled brats. Anyway, like I said, they're graduating soon. They both already had their choice of college accommodations, etc. Jill's going to a uni in San Fran, fully funded by our parents, unsurprisingly. Joe's going to the same uni as mine in Seattle, but different campus just 20-ish minutes away. He's got a full ride, which apparently makes him ineligible to get any financial help from his own parents. This is also hardly surprising, so I made some calls to ask around to see if anyone is hiring next fall. I did this while on FaceTime with Joe. I was reassuring him that we'll find him a job that doesn't suck and pays enough that he's better off without dad's money anyway because we both know it comes with strings attached. That this way, mom and dad wouldn't be able to stick their noses into his purchases. I got him to feel better about the whole thing and logged off. I guess Jill overheard because the next day she sent me texts after texts demanding I help her find jobs as well because she doesn't want dad, quote unquote, nagging her. When I told her, politely by the way, that I don't know anyone in San Fran and that she'd get more help from mom and dad, she blew up, saying all these things about me favoring Joe over her, which, yeah, it's true. I love both of my siblings, but I don't particularly like Jill. It's not like she's making herself likable, though, so am I the asshole? You didn't really tell her off, really, but, like, politely went about it very logically, I think. Like, I don't know anybody in San Francisco to help get you jobs. Valid explanation, she's just a brat created by the parents. That's what it feels like, yeah. Joe needs extra support. Jill just wants help getting another financial luxury. That is an excellent way to put that, Kerfluffle, actually. Excellent way to put that. There'll be 50 minutes of squeezing, 50 minutes of teasing, 50 minutes of blowing my top. Who the fuck comes for 15 minutes straight? Who the fuck comes for 15 minutes straight? Mr. Love and Dan, why do you come for 15 minutes? That's so much. That's so much and so long. The only mammal that is known to come for that long is a pig. Today you learned pigs, literal, actual swines, come. The longest orgasm in mammals is that of the domestic pig Sus scrofa domesticus. On average, its orgasm lasts 30 minutes, but it can last for as long as 90. 30-minute pig. 30-minute pig. If you don't like how little he comes, then come and see this pig. I should be stopped. I should not be allowed to have a public platform on the internet.